Okay, now I'm going to do this back wing, and I'm using fill again. I'm not a great lover of the digitizers that use satin stitch everywhere. Satin stitch to me is like a piece of jewellery, and when you wear too much jewellery it loses its effect. When you wear one good piece it stands out. And that's how I tend to use satin stitch, but that's my taste, and not everybody shares my taste. I actually want the open stitch tool because I want to take a run line now up to the top of this shape. And this is called travelling. There we go. Of course, there I am now, up there, ready to go and get my digitized clothes shape, and I'm going to use the fill tool. I'm also going to use an embossed fill, and I believe there is one in here called feathers. Yeah, there's feathers 1, feathers 2, feathers 3. Difficult. I'll select it in a minute, but I definitely don't want that big fella up there. And of course most of these are one shape that's been, they've altered the fill angles and so on. So they've taken most of the hard work out of playing with the different angles for you. Let's go for that ziggy zaggy chevron. Digitize clothes shape. Move in, so as you can see what we're at. Bury it in under the other wing so as you don't get horrendous areas of pull and gaps appearing between your different shapes. And now, because I'm suddenly changing angle, that was a left node. Okay. Ziggy. There he is there. And I'm going to add stitch angles. Thank you. Go to my fill and tell that turn pattern based on stitch angles. There we go. Now you of course don't have to do any of this. You can just do what you want. But I'm showing you all these things so as you can see how you can split a design up, alter your fill angles, alter your textures, and arrive at something different than what you arrived at before. So let's go and put this other one in now. There is my end point. So I want to move my end point down onto there. So I'm going to select it. Thank you. Reshape. And just move that down. And tell that stop. Now on this time I'm going to fill these in, and I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to do that as a solid lump of satin. So I'm going to take a single line and just roughly outline where I want my wing and we don't want it to go like that, Maggie. Make my travel lines work for me. Okay. Digitize close shape. Fill. Thank you. Satin. And let's move in a bit. Get that right in there. And go into stitching. I think 80 will do for there. You can set your fill angles in different places if you'd highlighted them first, which quite obviously I hadn't. There we go. Right, now I'm going to pick up my travel line again. digitize open shape, outline, single, that's fine, and take a walk up here. Digitize closed shape, fill. Into the middle of my cursor. Tell that. Select, reshape, move that end point up to there. Tell that stop. Pick up my digitize open shape. Out to the end. Digitize closed shape, fill. It's still on satin. And the program has a preference to work in a clockwise direction, especially when you use motifs. Let's just take a look at those for a moment. There we go. Dragon's teeth. Digitize open line. Closed shape. He's put the end point down there. I don't particularly want it down there. Reshape. And I want to see my fill angles. Right, that one says 88. Now if I can land on my trace line I have, this one needs to be about 84. That one needs to be about 82. So they're all just slightly changing their angle. Stop. True view. Travel line. Well inside those upper feathers. Okay, that's 91. I'll put my end point up to there. It does mean it will stitch down to here and come down here and stitch back, but that's where I want it. Digitize close shape fill, as he's nodded off again. Select, reshape, tell that to stop. Now with any luck at all, my angles should make it look as though these are sweeping around. Digitize close shape. Oh. Fill, highlight, satin, reshape. It has put my end point up with my start point because it did the outline, which is very handy, because there are designs you can do which actually work very well with having a closed shape but outline only. But that's not for this video. Okay, tell that stop. No, wrong one, Maggie. Digitize open shape. Digitize closed, fill, now there are some excellent tutorials on Hatch, on the Hatch website. And I believe John Deere does some. I don't know if they're free or if they're sold, but, and of course you've got examples inside of your user manual. Don't dismiss your user manual. I know nobody likes reading manuals, including me, but now and again they're very handy. Okay, now I'm going and I'm digitizing closed shape again, fill, and I'm leaving it on satin, and I'm leaving auto split. and I'm well inside that first wing. Right, now as you can see, most of that's not going to stitch. So add stitch angles. There we go. And now you have got a sort of feathery finish. But I notice it's a teeny bit sparse here and here, so let's look at that in 1:1. Oh, that's not too bad. In fact, I think this one might benefit from a similar treatment. Fill, satin, auto split, not quite wide enough, but we'll leave it like that. And this one, because he is so big, underlay, edge run, underlay 2, no, I want tatami. And on this one, I would have liked edge run and tatami. I should have chosen that before I started. Stitch length 2.8. Stitch spacing 2. Okay, now I'm going to travel down to the legs and put the legs in next, and then put the leg feathers in, then we'll put the body, and then finally we'll do the tail. So I'm going to finish here, and I'll see you in the next video.